Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Tayshawn Mirage Striker, and I hope you're having a very good day so far. I am too. In this video, I'm going to be releasing my first 2024 spring outlook forecast. What kind of spring we going to have for the parts of the whole US? Is what kind of weather we going to see, how much rain we going to see, how much snow we might still see, and how much severe weather we going to see this upcoming spring 20 season in this video. So if you like this video I be doing on my channel, please hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that bell notification. You don't miss another video. So let's get right into the video. So I will be releasing my first 2024 spring outlook forecast for the first time, and I will do a couple of these, but my last one will probably be like March 10th because, of course, it's gonna be nearly towards spring. So now let's get right into towards the video. So what kind of spring we're going to have? Well, first of all, we got to look at this because this determines what kind of spring we're going to have. We're going to look at our end zone in the Equatorial Pacific. And to better understand this, guys, the red right here represents above average temperatures. And because the Pacific Ocean is the biggest body of water, these temperatures does have an effect on our weather patterns for the whole, not US, the whole world. So because this spring is going to be a little bit different than the past three springs, because those past three springs was a La Nina spring. This spring is last year was a transition towards a El Nino. This spring we're going to be transitioning back toward a Neutr Phase. So just like last spring, this spring we're going to be in a Neutr Phase. So are we going to have the same kind of severe weather like we did last spring? Like we had that huge tornado outbreak in March? Or is going to do the same thing in 2024, because last year was a Neutr Phase. This spring is also going to be a Neutr Phase because both of these years was transition. Last year we was transitioning from La Nina to El Nino, but this year we transitioned towards El Nino back towards La Nina. So kind of see what gotta happen. So here is what we're in right now. We will not be in this by the time we get into towards spring. This will dramatically weaken as we get in towards later this month, which is February through March. This will start to weaken because a lot of upwell is going to start happening as these trade winds going to start picking right back up. That's going to kickstart back out La Nina again, because there is below average, there is cooler water below the surface, and that is fixing to make its way towards the Western Pacific. Not West Pacific, Eastern Pacific, that will kickstart La Nina. So here's what we in now. We are still in a very strong El Nino. This is a couple days old, so please take it with a grain of salt. But this is 3 days old, but not really much difference. Here's our El Nino still in place as of February 6th. Understand, guys, there is a couple days delay because they're not updating stuff fast enough. But look at this, guys. In the same time, this is very concerning. And this is going to be very bad for this upcoming hurricane season. I'm not here to hype stuff up, but look at the Atlantic Ocean still running above average as of February. Look at this. Especially off the coast where these storms develop. These hurricanes, look at this. Just the off the coast of Africa, the sea surface temperatures are running anywhere from 3 to 4 Celsius degrees above average. Like, this is very concerning, guys. And that's why some meteorologists are already expecting this 2024 hurricane season is going to be very bad. It's because the transition toward the La Nina, which is that makes the wind chill, the Atlantic more favorable for tropical storms, because during the La Nina, there's less wind chill in the tropical Atlantic. In the same time, with that very less wind chill, if we don't get no dry air, no Sahara dust, and a lot of moisture, and a lot of warm sea surface temperatures with no wind chill, because we're going to be in the La Nina, that means a very active hurricane season. And let's don't get too deep in that, because this is not about this. It's about this spring 2024 outlook. So here is what we in now. And the main thing NOAA tracks for the progression of La Nina or El Nino is the 3.4 region, because if once that 3-4 point region reaches 0.5 Celsius degrees above average in a matter of 3 months, that's when NOAA has declared that as 0.5 Celsius degrees above average. That's when NOAA has declared that as a El Nino. But once the sea surface temperatures get 0.5 Celsius degrees below average, that's when NOAA declares a La Nina is in place. So we are still in El Nino. The 3.4 region, Nino 3.4 region, is running 1.8 Celsius degrees above average. So it is still in strong, if not moderate, territory right now. But that is fixing to change. So because what's gonna happen when we get into spring? Because we are not gonna have this El Nino by the time we get into our spring, and this will determine what kind of spring weather we're gonna have for parts of the U.S. So by the time we get into our spring, and I do need to go to the other website because this did change recently, and so I have to go to. I'm gonna go to Google. I'm gonna hide my screen because I don't want y'all to see my private information. So I'm gonna hide my screen for y'all so y'all can't see my private information. But I'm gonna go to YouTube because this did update. So now we're gonna go to him. We're gonna check Weatherman Plus community tab because he did post this yesterday about this new update about this transition. So now we're gonna look at this. So now I'm gonna go to the Climate Things Center and look at this. He tweet this out that here's the latest update. So look at this. We in February right now. We're still not El Nino, but look at this. We're gonna still be in that El Nino, but look at this. Look at April. April we're gonna be straight right back into our Neutr Phase. So we are still gonna be in an El Nino. I mean, at least through March, but by the time we get towards April, we're gonna be in our Neutr Phase, which is spring. April is our spring month. April and May is our spring months. May is our spring months. And we mostly see severe weather in March, still in Dixie Alley, but still, probably like late March, we're going to be probably in a Neutr Phase. But look at this. April and May, which is our spring months, we're going to be in a Neutr Phase. And I'm thinking showing what does a Neutr Phase do to our weather pattern. But look at this. By the time we get into our summer, which is June, July, there's a 50 to 60% chance that being a full-blown La Nina those months. But look at this. Peak of hurricane season, guys, August, September, especially September, we have a 75% chance of being a full-blown La Nina this upcoming September, and that is very bad for this upcoming hurricane season. That's right in the peak of hurricane season, and that's something you do definitely need to have a very active hurricane season. So now let's get right back towards our slides, because, yeah. Okay, Climate Things Center. So now we look at this. But look at this. And now we're going to look at our subsurface temperature of the partners in the Earth toward Pacific Ocean. Look at this. When you start seeing a lot of blue just below the surface, that's cooler than normal temperature waters, and that is starting to pick up. And and that will start working its way towards the Eastern Pacific. And once that makes its way towards Eastern Pacific and those trade winds start picking up, this El Nino will start to weaken. Look at this. Look in the past couple of days and look at the past couple of weeks. Ever since December, we've been seeing this kind of blue shaded for parts of the Western Pacific. This cooler than normal temperatures for parts of the Western Pacific below the surface. That's why ever since December, NOAA has already declared that most models are expecting a decrease towards Neutr Phase this upcoming springs because there's cooler water below the surface, and when you start getting cooler normal water below the surface, that means we're starting to transition back towards a Neutr Phase of not La Nina. And we've been seeing it ever since the beginning of December that we've been seeing some cooler waters below the surface in the Western Pacific. This is starting to work its way towards the Central and Eastern Pacific, so that's going to be surprising. We still got below average waters, above average sea surface temperature waters in the Eastern Pacific below the surface, but that will fixing to change. So now let's get right into this video. So now I want to show y'all the Neutr Phase. Now it's not always going to play truth, guys. It's going to look a whole lot different this spring, but this is what a typical Neutr Phase does. So during the Neutr Phase, the reason why I'm showing this, guys, is because this is what we're going to be in by the time we get into spring. So by the time we get into spring, the polar jet stream, the polar jet stream is going to be doing this. It's going to be coming from Canada, going down towards the northeast. Not northeast. The northern, the upper plains, not the upper plains, the upper Midwest, then crossing the Ohio Valley, then going towards the northeast. So that means cooler and wetter for this part of the U.S. But look at this. During the Neutr Phase, the southern U.S. is going to be much warmer and much wetter. It's not always going to play true, but I think we might see wetter conditions this spring because we're still going to be in that Neutr Phase even through May, possibly early June until we get towards summer. So now, we're going to look at our temperature outlook on these two models. We got the CFS model monthly and the CamShips model monthly. March, April, and May is our spraying months. So the CFS model is showing that the Pacific Northwest is going to be seeing below average, not below, above average temperatures. So it's the CFS model. The CFS model is showing that the Northwest is going to see above average temperatures. But look at this. We got some difference when it comes to these below average temperatures, especially parts of the Northeast. At least the CamShares model is showing that you're going to see neo-normal temperatures this upcoming spring. But look at the CFS. Like, look at this. The CFS is showing a very slow transition towards spring. Look at all this blue right here. All this blue is representing below average temperatures this upcoming spring. So this is kind of a tricky forecast because usually to come to a very strong agreement, both models need to agree. The CFS needs to be showing below average temperatures of parts of the Northeast, and so is the CamShares. We're not seeing that, so this is going to be a tricky forecast, tricky spring. But at least we still got an agreement. At least we got an agreement with these above average temperature parts of the Northwest. So if you live in parts of the Northwest, including Northern California, Nevada, Idaho, Western Montana, Oregon, and Washington, you will see a warmer spring, a much above average spring. So now look at this, parts of Texas, you can see below average temperatures according to the CFS, neo-normal temperature parts of Central Texas on the CamShares model, and slightly below average temperatures of parts of the plains. So now precipitation. Let's get right into the precipitation because yeah, it's also very concerned. Look at this. Now, look like it's going to be a wet one, guys. Now, this is typical with Neutr Phase. The southern U.S. do expect winter conditions. And look at this. Parts of California is going to be wetter conditions too. The Northwest is going to be a dry one. Now, we do have agreement with this. So, if you live in parts of the Northwest, both CFS and CamShares models show that y'all going to see below average precipitation this upcoming spring for parts of Oregon and Washington. So is the CFS. The CFS is showing below average precipitation. So now, look at this. Anyone in the central U.S. is going to see neo-normal to slightly above normal precipitation. The Northeast, according to the CFS model, is showing that y'all gonna see below average precipitation. But look at this, the CamShares model is showing neo-normal precipitation. So now 500 millibar height anomaly. To better understand this, what kind of water pattern we're going to have this upcoming spring. So look like the CFS model is showing now, guys. Now we got some disagreement right here. According to the CFS and the CamShares model, they do agree that the Northwest is going to see a lot of ridging for parts of the Northwest. That's why the Northwest is going to be warmer and drier. It's because due to a ridge of high pressure, it keeps temperatures warmer and above average and also drier, because a lot of sinking air takes place. But look at this. We don't have an agreement when it comes to that troughing for parts of the Northeast. Look at this. The CFS model is showing that y'all can see below average, large troughing in parts of the Northeast. That means cooler temperatures, unsettled water, and a lot of storms. The the CamShares model is showing that you're going to see a lot of ridging. So, doing a lot of ridging, you expect, the temperatures are probably going to be average and so is precipitation because the ridge is not completely in place, but still, a lot of difference between these models. So, this is a very confusing forecast. So, we got to kind of see what happens as we progress closer to spring, but we got some disagreement right here. So now here's my forecast, what I think we could see this spring. So here's my spring 2024 my spring 2024 temperature outlook forecast. So I expect that the southeast U.S. is going to have a slow transition towards spring. It's because, understand this, guys, in the past 3 winters, ever since 2021, we've been seeing some very warm Februarys, especially parts of the southeast. Those Februarys been very, very warm, but it's not going to be a warm, but don't like this February. It's going to be as warm as those past 3 Februarys where the temperatures got in the 80s. It won't be this case. It's because those past 3 years was La Nina years. During the La Nina, we expect warmer winters for parts of the southern U.S., and that's what we've been seeing. Much warmer winter, especially 2021. 2021 was a very warm winter. Even though 2022, for parts of the southeast, we saw snow, it was still above normal winter. So look at this. According to my forecast, I expect the central U.S. to see slightly below temperature. above average temperatures. The California in the Northwest region in the U.S., I'm expecting above average temperatures because both Cam, Chess, and Maul agree that y'all both gonna see above average temperatures. And look at this: if you live in parts of the Northeast and the Mid-Atlantic, I expect y'all can see some below average temperatures due to a lot of trapping that's going to be in place. Texas, that includes you. You're going to see some below average temperatures this spring. So now, my precipitation, how much rain we going to see? Well, during the Neutr Phase, we do see above average precipitation parts of the Southeast, so I'm coming to agree with that. So if you live in parts of the Southeast, including the whole Southeast region, you're going to see above average precipitation, so it's going to be a wet one for y'all for this upcoming spring. But the Northwest is going to be dry. I'm expecting drier conditions for parts of the Northwest. The Southwest is going to be wetter than normal. And the Northeast is going to be neo-normal. So now, here is my spring severe weather outlook. Like every spring, guys, spring is severe weather season. And the spring is where we see the most severe weather any time of the year. And because we're going to be in a Neutr Phase of spring, during the Neutr Phase, the severe weather is more concentrated towards the deep south and Dixie Alley. So if you live in parts of the Southeast, you have greater risk of seeing severe weather this spring, March, April, and May. Mainly March. This is mainly a March forecast because March is the peak of severe season. That late February through early April is the peak severe season for parts of Dixie Alley. So if you live in parts of the Southeast, so if you live in the light red shading, that includes possible. Severe weather is possible this upcoming spring. So if you live in the plains, including Tornado Alley, probably going to see, northern Tornado Alley, probably going to see possible severe weather this upcoming spring, but I'm not expecting a whole lot for y'all this upcoming spring. I think my concentration is going to be in the deep south, the southeast U.S. states, is where we're going to have the best chance of seeing severe weather. It's because of what kind of weather pattern we in a lot of storm systems. So I'm expecting that the Pacific jet stream is going to be very, very active this upcoming spring. And how the Pacific jet stream is going to be located this upcoming spring, it's going to be much farther south. Meaning there's going to be a lot more Western U.S. troughs going this direction towards the southeast and a lot of storm systems. So I'm expecting a lot of storm systems coming from the west. A lot of different strip streams coming down towards the southern U.S. and picking up like this. So I'm expecting this kind of weather pattern this spring. I'm expecting a lot of this. A lot of storm systems doing this up spring. A lot of troughs pulling a lot of Gulf moisture out of this Gulf, and behind that pulling a lot of cold air behind it. So I'm expecting this upcoming spring. So if you live in the darker shades of the red, you expect severe weather is likely. Not extreme, but likely. You're likely to see at least some kind of severe weather, at least some kind of severe weather outbreak or tornado outbreak this upcoming spring. Meaning you're not going to see nothing. And if you live in parts of the pink, that means severe weather is likely, extremely likely in the pink. I mean, you're going to see constantly severe weather outbreaks this whole coming spring. I mean, you're going to see outbreak after outbreak. It's going to be very bad. So if you live in the pink, that means it's going to be very bad. A lot of tornado outbreaks, a lot of big tornadoes, a lot of damage to winds. It's going to be a very big, bad severe weather parts of y'all. If you live in the if you live in the pink. So please be aware for that. Texas, that includes you. Louisiana, that includes you. Mississippi, that includes you. Panama, Florida, that includes you. Alabama, that includes you. And Georgia, that includes you. Because guys, the thing is, that's what we've been seeing. Ever since the beginning of this year, we've been seeing this kind of like pattern where we've been seeing a lot of severe weather in the deep south. That will continue through the spring because we do have a severe weather outbreak coming in a couple of days, and it is forecasted to happen in the same section that I highlighted the greatest risk for severe weather. It's because it's the kind of weather power we're in. We're not in a La Nina no more. In the past 3 years, we've been in La Nina, and the most severe weather outbreak concentration has been for parts of the Ohio Valley in the western U.S. But I'm expecting the same thing. So this is pretty much going to be more like a 2020 to 2021 severe weather outbreak setup where the deep south is getting targeted the most. I mean, both Tornado Alley and this eye was very active, but I think this eye is going to be much active this upcoming spring. Is because the kind of weather pattern we in right now. We've seen a lot of storm systems, a lot of big storm systems doing this, and it will continue at least through the whole spring. So if you live in parts of the deep south, you will see above average severe weather this upcoming spring. So it's going to be it for this video. If you like this video, please hit that like button, subscribe, and this will be it for my spring forecast. See you on my next video.